Hello and welcome. We're going to get into another video. Today's video, we will try to build a Titus team for our friend Need No Name. And if you are watching this video, you should also be able to build the same concept, okay? Doesn't necessarily mean the same champion. So why is everyone building Titus teams even though Ninja Mikage are better? Because clearly if you take a look, like everyone is just doing insane amount of damage. Like look at this Golden Dragon. People are doing more than 100 billion damage using Titus teams. So Ninja Mikage still do better like what Fina Mikage. But the thing is, if you take a look, like you can't compete in Clash Chimera unless you have a Titus team. So technically everyone is forced to. And why would people do this? Literally for this right here, which is the mythical gemstone, which is the reason people are fighting tooth and nail building. They're the best potential teams that they could use like when they're Chimera. So what will we use? So technically we need to use buff extenders. Like as an example, you would look into your account and you could see what buff extenders you would have, but generally speaking everyone should have, let's say, Mikage and Wixwell. That is 2, but is 2 enough? So there is like this argument. You either run 2 buff extenders and a decrease cooldown at champion, or 3 buff extenders. But also because like Chimera, we don't have a great hole, so technically you need to get 600 resistance, which is not easy to get. So is there a possible way that we can avoid doing this? Yes, you can use increased resistance. So you try to look into increased resistance. Where is increased resistance buff? Real quick guys, get yourself a free legendary Narma by clicking the link in my description. You will also get 3 amazing epics: Anax, Uugo, and Mausoleum Mage. All you need to do is, number 1, log out of Play on your PC and uninstall it. Number 2, click the link in the description and register with a brand new email. Number 3, launch raid and complete the tutorial. Number 4, go to your inbox and claim the champion. So don't miss out on the great chance to get Narma and 3 very strong epics. So make sure to click my link before it expires. I think it's this one. Yeah, strengthen. So you have to look into your account and see what increased resistance to champions you would have. Actually, some of the best. This guy Feral is probably one of the best in Hydra, but in Chimera you either use Wella, which is actually the best, literally because she has 30 meter fell increased resistance and she does bring in lots of heal. But we have, or I don't have, our friend here has this guy. What's his face? It's Fidey. Fidey brings increased resistance, perfect veil, and he does bring in some heal here and there, and he does bring in decreased speed and block debuff. So he is more reliable than Uella at doing that. Uella is better at doing the buff extending, but because everyone's building Uella, this video is actually going to be about Fidey. So this is technically the 3 major champions that we will have. So let's just go and build them and see what stats and what relics do we have to build on those. Now, some stuff you need to be aware of. As an example, the Ram head will target the champion with the lowest crit damage. So you need neither Titus or Wixwell should be the lowest crit damage. And the Lion farm attacks the target with the highest defense. So none of those champions should be either Wixwell or Titus. So what should we do? So we need our increased resistance champion to be the lowest crit damage. So it will be the target from the Ram one. And then on the Lion, we need our Mikage to be the highest defense so she could survive. But remember that Lion will always attack you until you're dead. So how can we dodge that? There is actually 2 strategies we need to use in order to be able to survive the Lion form. And the answer is actually the relics. There are like 2 relics that you need to use on your Mikage. Number 1, Aspect of Surat, because when the wearer receives a fatal damage, reduced by 50% of the turn meter, and then fully reduce the turn meter cooldown 1 turn. So every 1 turn that this will happen. So how you either put Aspect of Surat or you put Golden Elixir, and you need your Golden Elixir to be 15 basically. So what happened when the boss brings Lady Mikage to below 50, or Golden Elixir will heal above 50, the boss will keep attacking you as long as your HP by around 20% every time it hits you. So when you heal with Golden Elixir, it doesn't count. Now, is there anything we need to be aware of? Well, some stuff like on Wixwell, like relics, it's literally just something to get stats in order to gain the required stats that we need. So as an example, Wixwell here, we have him in 4 pieces of Impulse and 4 pieces of Merciless, just to be able to reduce his cooldown as much as possible. Ideally, you want to have a refresh accessory on him, but the refresh accessory sometimes is kind of like you're not going to be able to get. Like as an example, look, if I want to have this one here, I'm gonna lose some stats and I can't get below 400 resistance, so it's not an option for me here to try to get it. Or like we can try to, I don't know, like having a refresh accessory on Wixwell is actually insanely huge. If you get that refresh accessory, you're just gonna be cooking the boss. Can you run reflex 4 pieces instead? Yes, you can, but the thing is, the impulse gear gives you, where's the impulse? We're getting more speed by having impulse. Technically, we're getting 24 speed by having the 2 impulse pieces. So that's not an option, and it's actually hard. Like, the hardest thing about this team is that you need your Mikage to be the highest defense, and it's difficult when we have 2 defense-based champions. We're talking about Wixwell and Titus. Now, this is as far as the build, but now you need to get trials, because as you can see, we don't have Senna, we don't have Androx, so we don't have infinite turn meter. So our cheese strategy is to refresh Titus as much as possible. So Titus will have 6 pieces Merciless and 2 pieces of Impulse this time, for one simple reason, is that we need to reset his abilities, and also we have another reset champion. So let's check the stats. So we're gonna use Mikage's aura because we're gonna lack some accuracy. 1 second, let me check. Do we lack actually the accuracy? The main one is actually Wixwell, and we're lacking the accuracy to land the decreased attack. As far as Titus, we need 40 more resistance still, so we have to work it out. Have to find a way into getting this. And remember that our Fiery does provide the increased resistance and perfect veil, so we need this to be open and then don't use. This is going to be our first choice. As far as Lydia, she's going to open and don't use. Why? Because we want to have this up all the time, because this is going to be a semi-auto team. So when you get to the Viper, the poison one, you want to have this one up. So as you can see here, open, second choice. I mean, technically Mikage will extend, but what if the boss is weak affinity, you know? As far as Fiery, we're going to do the same. Open and then don't use. Open, don't use. Open, don't use. And so when you have Uella, technically Uella will heal your champions, and that's why she is way better on auto. But we have a mythical champion that has no use, so we have to use him. So what is our source of heal? Well, technically you could say that Fiery does have a heal mechanic. Attack one enemy 2 times. Each hit heals all allies by 55% of this champion's max HP, and we does have 100k HP on him. So technically our source of heal will be actually Fiery. So now let's start the run, because there is a secret into how to get all the trials. So let's start. Wait, Titus is missing some resistance. 1 second. So like there are like some ways into getting like the resistance. So now I was able to get him by switching a piece to get him to 397. But remember, because this team is heavily benefit from buffs, like something like this mastery does help you increase ally resistance by 5% for each buff placed on them by this champion. And this champion brings in 2 buffs. So you can actually use this mastery for every champion that brings in buff. Like Mikage brings in 2 buffs, Wixwell brings in 2 buffs. So that's like technically easily 10 resistance from each champion. So now it's time for the test. Let's go and see. Wixwell using his A3. That's expected. We have, so you can see that here he got stripped, which means something is off, right? Wait, he doesn't put increased resistance on himself. He put it on everyone else. Okay, so now everything should be fixed. We were able to get him more resistance, so he can resist as much as possible. Okay, we have Cruelty, we have Brimstone. Yeah, resisted on everything. That means it's working. So at one point, if the boss is steal or everything doesn't work as intended, that means only one thing. Look at that. We reset everyone. Now everyone is gonna be able to extend, I'm assuming. Okay, so we're gonna go back on the every form just to tell you how you're supposed to play against every form. So now the boss has switched form. As you can see, he tried to duel, but he couldn't duel, and for one simple reason, which is that we have too big of a shield. I'm assuming that we're supposed to switch because we need 369. We need the increased accuracy, and we're gonna try to use an A1 here. Try to land our debuff so we can get the trials, because remember, we can get this trial and this trial and this trial. That should be easy to get because we have Veil. We should be able to get this one. I don't know about this one because we already have buff, so I'm not sure that counts. And this one because we have Smite. So this team is also friendly for the trials. So now here we are on the Lion form, as you can see. And the Lion couldn't even do any damage to our Mikage. He's trying to break through the shield. He did break through the shield here, to be honest. But it's he's not going to be able to take Mikage out. Like, there is a shield. There is aspect of Sirat. There are, like, more ways than... see? She didn't die. Now all we need is she get her heals back. Now, as far as the Viper, I mean, the Viper will try to put poison. He was able to put 1 poison here. No stealing on the buff-wise. Decrease attack, we have increase speed. We do have, and we have block debuffs. We don't have HP burn. So technically, we should be able to get 1 here and 1 here. So pretty much 2. But we can do like more on this one. But like the thing about Ram, it's so tricky. Because on Ram, you have to use Titus's nuke on while you have fear. So if you don't have fear, you cannot use it because simply it will break the shield and kill him right away. That's like the main thing about it. So mid through the battle, like Fidey died to the Ram form, and literally like the biggest difficulty that I have here, that he is only 1-star soul. So awakening like is like a huge part of this team, to be honest, and it's kind of difficult to use it with like 1-star awakened champion. So if you all have like only 1-star awakened champions, I think you should be stick to Ninja Mikage, but there is a way to play around it. Like, this is what I'm talking about. So now I'm just using Uella here instead of Fidey, literally because my Fidey just like lacks some stats and he wasn't able to do. So here you can see that we have True Fear because we have Nature's Bounty on Lydia, just to be able to flip the fear into True Fear. There is decreased defense and we can just use the blast. No worries about that because it's just easy to get, you know. And look at that, we're almost done from 1 and 2 trials, 3 trials. And it's just like kind of easier to get because like it doesn't matter what champions you're using for increased resistance. What matters is the stats. You need high and like too much stats. Or we need a Plarium to give us simply great hold bonuses from live arena for Chimera, because there is no reason for them to not give it to us, to be honest. At this point, it's been forever and we actually deserve to get them at this point. So I'm not going to use this, and actually I'm going to save it for next turn, and I will let you know. I will tell you why. So why she is getting those? So I can't, I have to do this. Why is she getting, what is her increased resistance? So you can see we were able to land a True Fear, and now in, okay, Titus, do your job. Oh, there is no True Fear. Oh my god, did we 3%, man? We actually 3%ed, or like she got reflected, so we cannot use it at this point. But yeah, you saw like it's with Uella, it's just easier to get. With Fidey, you can get way more trials because you just like have the potential and you can reset and you can keep making Titus do more damage by simply keep resetting him. In fact, you could actually get the cap, which is 2.14 billion damage. You don't need an Androck or a Senna or a Yumiko Lemasucore. You don't need that. So yeah, this is like what you expect to get if you don't have a heart, if you don't have high awakening, and if you don't have Androck or Senna. I mean, technically 6.8 billion clash points is actually a huge number. I'm gonna actually do another attempt with Fidey again because I want to get Fidey. I think Fidey can do way more than this because Fidey got to this number literally at turn 45, but then he just lacks his stats. Like his stats weren't there. So yeah, that's pretty much all you need to know about like stat. Wait, let's just double check again. I mean, if Mikage was 6-star soul, technically the extra cruelty damage would help a lot. Like here, like that would help a lot, but technically she needs aspect of Sarat with 2 of the boss damage mitigation thing. I think that's pretty much it. And here, like, I tweaked the build, like, slightly, but I changed Lydia from 9 pieces protection into 9 pieces feral, and because she does provide around 4 to 5 debuffs, that actually ended up doing more damage. We are sitting at almost 14 billion clash points. That's actually insane to even think about. Now, I know that some people can actually do more than damage than this, but I just showed you that literally by tweaking the build, improving it slightly, glyphing all the pieces, getting more defense. The main thing I did here is literally I tried to give Mikage more defense so I can improve Titus's defense, because you cannot build Titus on this combo with the highest defense, because the highest defense will literally get targeted by Lion, and you don't want that to be on Titus. I mean, you could have that on Titus, but the thing is you want to have aspect of Sarath on the Lion tank, the thing that will get attacked by Lion, which is the champion with the highest defense. And yeah, we just get 14.22 billion clash points using 1 key. Fully auto. I didn't even touch anything, just from the beginning till the end. Now we can ask Plarium for auto claim and Chimera keys. Holy dude, this can be actually improved. And I think Fidey's build, I'm still trying to tweak it a bit. I feel like there is a way into make him like slightly more speed, but the thing is, Wixwell must be the fastest. And getting Wixwell to be the fastest when he's not 6-star awakened is just a bit difficult, especially when he has such a bad banner. That's everything you need to know about Fidey, Titus comp, Chimera teams, and I hope this was informative for you. Don't forget to leave a like to the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And thank you so much to Mr. Need No Name for letting me on his account. Now, this is like what could be the final build, like the final score for you. We're talking about, if you do the math here, we're talking about, I think, 50 million clash points using this. Like, look at this, the Titus 1.7. And yeah, like the only mythical that you get here is actually Lady Mikage. I would say this is the least mythical intense Titus of a team. I mean, I think like you either go with this or Senna with Yumiko and Lamasu, and if you're trying to achieve as much as clash points as possible. And if you look at this, like there is no Androck, there is no Senna. Yes, there is Fidey, and Fidey is technically as difficult as Yumiko to get, but I think this one is the one that does the most amount of trials. We're talking about 15 trials using a Titus team. That's just insane, to be honest. And as I said, for like Lady Mikage, she must have the highest defense, so the Lion target her, and the lowest crit damage is on Fidey, so the Ram target him as well. And if you like, there is like the thing about those two, you have the option of using a resistance aura or accuracy aura, depend what you actually need. If there is a way to time it, like as an example with Lady Mikage, if you switch her form, if you time it well in somewhere in the fight, you could use her A3 and then switch from the second form, then switch back, and then you will have increased accuracy on everyone. So you wouldn't actually need the accuracy aura. So you would have even something better, which is the accuracy aura, and then you would benefit from the resistance aura on Fidey. As far as the awakening, crushing rent here, I think you need you do need a 6-star. Your 6-star goes to cruelty. The lower awakening goes to smite, brimstone. And as far as Lydia, you always run Nature's Bounty because you want to switch Fear into True Fear, because if you have True Fear on the Ram, that means your Titus can always use his A2 against the boss. If you don't have True Fear, trust me, that 20% reflect damage would still kill Titus, because you're talking about 50 million damage at one point. So, just to sum it up, Lady Mikage, highest defense. Fidey or Owella, lowest crit damage. As far as Lydia, like literally just build them as tanky as possible. Now, as far as Relic, you do need an aspect of Surath on Lady Mikage, just in case Lion went out of control and killed and almost get to kill her. And then the aspect of Surath would come in clutch and prevent that death. So that's something you need to be aware of. Anything else? I mean, you could benefit from some gemstones, like, you know, there is like a gemstone that increases your resistance whenever someone's trying to strip your debuffs. That's a very good one to have. As far as Titus, the best one you could have is actually the Cat Gaze. There is the scroll. The name of that is scroll. It's from the Chimera, and it has 2 circles. So if you have 2 boss slayer, you could have it on them. And journal does increase your damage similar to Arity Coronate as long as you are under a veil and you are the slowest on the team. And Fidey brings in veil, so that's something you could actually benefit from. So that's something I found out like by practice. So yeah, that's I think this is pretty much it about the video, and I think we summed it up and everything. So I know the team did 8, but you 8 billion clash. The team has the potential to go up to like 60 billion clash points. It depends on your gear and how good your awakening is. As you see here, we have fully awakened. Now look at this. We have fully awakened Titus. I think this team specifically have convinced me to focus on getting my Titus into 6-star before anything else. That's everything about it, and thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.